Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're moving and grooving with the Twist and Pop. Today's technique tutorial. Today's card is going to be a little bit different variation of the Twist and Pop. I'm going to do a vertical Twist and Pop banner with a mini slimline card. Mini slimline cards are 6 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I started with a 7-inch sheet of paper by 6 1/4 and scored it in half at 3 1/2. Scored it in half at the 7-inch line, and then so it's 3 1/2 by 6 1/4. And I'm going to add a little pop of color with a stencil and some Distress ink. Peacock feathers is what I used for this tutorial. And I'm just brushing on some light shading through a stencil. I didn't tack it down, didn't do anything exciting. I just needed a little bit of texture and pop of color. And then I found this scrap of navy blue cardstock that I added some white splashes to, some splatters of white acrylic paint. And I had a lot of hearts laying around that I was going to originally use to make a Valentine card. I never got around to it. So I decided to use them on this card. I stamped the word friend. The sentiments for this card come from a stamp set that is discontinued. I found it at Tuesday Morning, but really you can use just about any stamp set. There's so many stamp sets out there with great sentiments. So, but I stamped the word friend for the front, and then I'm going to trim it up and add some little banner cuts for the edges. And it's very easy to make, and it's so tiny, I know, so tiny, but I just took some detail scissors, snipped up the middle, and from the corners in to cut out that little triangle of a banner. And you can make them as big or as little as you like. Sorry, I'm not in camera. I really have got to get better at doing that. And then I added some adhesive, foam tape, dimensional adhesive to my friend, and I'm going to pop that up. And then after looking at it, I decided I needed a little bit more on the front. I just wanted something a little extra, so I found some more little tiny hearts that were in my stash and added those to the front of the card. And then I added the banner pieces, but as I added them, I offset them just a little bit so that they would feel more dimensional and pop off the card a little bit. I know it's hard to tell because it's white on white, but you'll see when I put the second one on there. Just adding a little bit to make that banner really pop and give it that sort of banner-esque look. And then we're going to make our mechanism. So for the mechanism, I used a 5 by 1 1/2 inch sheet of paper, and I scored it in half vertically and horizontally. I'm going to fold those over. And the easiest way I found to make the Twist and Pop mechanism is to fold over, sort of that airplane fold, just fold your corners over to the center line. And I fold them back and forth to make sure I get good movement on both sides. And you'll see as I open it up, I'm going to fold my sides, or as it were, my legs, in and out so we get lots of movement on those as well. And then I'm going to flip it over, and the easiest way to do it is to squeeze until those are folded in half and you have triangles on both sides, kind of like a little house. And then there is our Twist and Pop mechanism. That's it. That's the whole thing. You can see it's very simple, just to show you some dimension here. And I will show you, I'm going to put a piece down that has the lines already drawn on there so you can see where I scored and folded to get an idea. And then we're going to go ahead and put it I'm going to show you very quickly. You can make them as big or as little as you like. Here's a really tiny one. This is a 1 inch by 4¼ inch sheet of paper. And so I'm just going to score it in half and half again. Fold over those corners just to show you how simple this is. Again, we're going to make our little corners in and out, give some movement. And then open it up. Really, I just want to make sure I get those score lines good and folded. And then you will see, we're going to fold it in just like we did before. Fold all of our score lines. And you can see, just push those legs together, bring them down, you get your little house. So just to show you, there's a couple of different sizes that we can do, but let's put our card together. We're going to start by adding our inside banner, and that inside banner I cut at 5½, and I'm just showing you my score lines here. We're just going to fold it in fourths. So whatever size you use, typically what I do for my banner is typically about 1/2 inch bigger than my mechanism. It can be the same size or roughly a little bit bigger, depending on what you're doing. And then I decided I wanted to add a banner cut to the inside banner. A banner to the banner. A cut to the banner? Anyway, I want it to fishtail. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word. I did a fishtail cut to the inside banner. There we go. And so we're going to go ahead and put our card together. Just to show you, I did our sentiments are a note of heartfelt thanks. They came from the same stamp set that I used from Friend in the front of the card. Again, we're going to squeeze those legs together and add adhesive off camera, of course, because I can't seem to remember to do things on camera. My apologies. We're going to stick it to the inside of our card. You want to remember that your fishtail cut is going to be at the bottom because your mechanism, when it opens, that'll go towards the bottom of your card. So what I did is I added adhesive to the triangle, the top of the house. I pushed it all the way up against the score line and then added adhesive to the triangle on the other side, folded my card over, added a little bit of weight so that it would adhere. I probably didn't need to do that. I used art glitter glue, so it adhered just fine. You can use any wet adhesive or a tear and tape. You want to use something that's going to be firm because you're going to be moving it a lot. Okay? So, and then I added adhesive to the top left corner of our mechanism, just not even a whole inch of a spot, just the top left corner. And then I pressed my banner into that section. You can put glue over the whole thing, but it won't work. So just the one side. And what you do to the top, you do opposite to the bottom. So we did the top left. So on the bottom, we will do the bottom right. So top left, bottom right, or top right, bottom left. Either way, that's how you make your mechanism, and that's how it will fold in and out. When you first do it, you will have to zhuzh it a little bit, just because it needs a little coaxing to get the mechanism to work, but after a few times, it will work perfectly fine. And then I added my sentiments to the inside of my card. You know, I thought about adding just a little bit more color to it, like I did to the front. adding some teal paper or light blue, similar to peacock feathers, but I don't know, wanted to keep it simple. And then I found another one of those little hearts that I had in my stash from not making a Valentine card, and I added it to the bottom. And that really is the whole card. And again, the first couple of times you will have to zhuzh it so it goes, but after a couple of times it'll work just fine. I'm just making sure everything's adhered. And there you go. There is our twist and pop. I did another one with the Spellbinders die of the month, the small die of the month for February. So that was the other card that you see there. Thank you very much for watching and have a great afternoon.